We've seen some pretty weird sponsored content in our time, monitoring celebrities' Instagram accounts, Snoop Dogg posting about Hot Pockets, Kim Kardashian's toilet paper ads, Bella Hadid photoshopping herself with deviled eggs. We thought we've seen it all, until Demi Lovato's sponsored post turned dangerously political. What's up guys, it's Emile Ennis Jr. here with Clevver News, and Demi Lovato wants people to know that when she accepted a free trip to Israel in exchange for a few posts, she wasn't trying to mix church and state. In fact, I don't even think Demi thought about the possibility of backlash when she posted her trip to Israel on Instagram. And in case you missed what I'm referring to, allow me to catch you up. So Demi posted 3 different times from her sponsored trip to Israel. She didn't say specifically who sponsored the trip, but if I had to guess, it seems like it was from a tourism board or something like that. So let's go through her post. First, she posted this series of photos and captioned it, quote, "I am an American singer. I was raised Christian and have Jewish ancestors. When I was offered an amazing opportunity to visit the places I'd read about in the Bible growing up, I said yes. There is something absolutely magical about Israel. Thank you for having me, Israel." And then she shared some photos from Yad Vashem, which is Israel's official memorial for the victims of the Holocaust. She wrote, quote, "My heart was absolutely broken in Yad Vashem. This was such a beautiful tribute and a reminder that we can never forget." And finally, she also visited the Shalva National Center, which is a center for kids with disabilities. Demi shared this pic and wrote, quote, "While I was over there, I fell in love with this little beauty at the Shalva National Center. What an amazing center for children with special needs." So if you don't know the politics behind Israel, these posts seem pretty harmless. But if you do know a thing about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, you probably know that these posts could stir up some controversy. So the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is the ongoing struggle between Israelis and Palestinians that began in the mid-20th century over the land in that area. We're not going to get into the specific politics here on Clevver, but it has been referred to as one of the world's most unmanageable conflicts for a very long time. So Demi's comment section turned into a giant debate, and just as a disclaimer, Clevver isn't taking a stance here, we're just reporting on the story, so we're going to go through the comments from both sides on Demi's post, but don't come at me because I'm just reporting. Demi did end up turning off all the comments on her Israel post, but before she did, they looked a little something like this. One person said, "I'm so sad. I was so happy to see her going to Israel and loving our country. I feel like she got so much hate for calling it Israel in her post just looking at the comments. I'm so sad that so many people hate Israel." And another asked Demi to delete the post and said, "Then delete these posts, sis, or at least acknowledge Palestine and Jerusalem as it is. We've been tagging you and trying to tell you about their current situation, but you decided to block some of us, lie, or simply ignore." To which Demi actually responded. She said, quote, "Still contractually obligated to keep them up. 2, I'm not turning this into a political statement. I went to a place and that's literally all I did. I have no views on this politically." Someone else replied to Demi and said, quote, "Demi, I love you forever, but there was nothing wrong with your posts or emotions. Israel is a legit state and nation. You should be proud to visit and share your experiences with the world." Like I said, it turned into a giant debate. The comment frenzy continued on her other posts, like the one of her at the Holocaust Memorial. So many ignorant comments. Israel-Palestinian conflict has nothing to do with purposeless genocide of millions of innocent Jewish people. Thank you for supporting our people. And Demi continued to reply to people who didn't appreciate her post in the comment section. She said, "If you still aren't happy, I literally don't know what else to say other than I'm sorry and you can unfollow." To which someone replied and said, "This isn't the right attitude. You've disappointed all of your Muslim and loyal fans." Obviously, all of this prompted Demi to post a statement. She posted on her story and said, "I'm extremely frustrated. I accepted a free trip to Israel in exchange for a few posts. No one told me there would be anything wrong with going or that I could possibly be offending anyone. With that being said, I'm sorry if I've hurt or offended anyone. That was not my intention." She continued on by saying, "This was meant to be a spiritual experience for me, not a political statement. And now I realize I hurt people, and for that, I'm sorry. Sorry I'm not more educated, and sorry for thinking this trip was just a spiritual experience. Going against all advice right now and apologizing because it feels right to me." In another Instagram story, she said that she's exhausted and explained what she meant by that. She said, quote, "And by exhausted, don't want to talk about this anymore. This includes friends and family too." Obviously, this stirred up a lot of conflict between Demi and her fans, but it's not surprising to me that Demi would want to take a religious trip. She's always been very spiritual and in touch with her religion. I just don't think she knew enough about the politics behind what's going on in that area. Like I said before, it's a very complicated and deep-rooted conflict that has been going on for years, that obviously is a very emotional topic for a lot of people. But I want to know, did you see Demi's posts? And do you think celebs should do a better job at researching the implications of something like this before accepting sponsored content? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. After that, be sure to hit that subscribe button and click that bell so you don't miss any of our new stories. Then click right over here for even more entertainment news. Thanks for hanging out with me here on Clevver News, guys. I'm Emile Ennis Jr. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon.